Hello, this is Rebirth the Legend here, making an analysis video. So this is going to be a BattleCup game. I have user Sprocked Pete. Wondering what they could have done to win this game. We'll check out the dota buff real quick. Omni, PA, Lich, Abaddon, Sniper. As we can see, they got a pretty decent early edge. They took a tower, but were unable to close out the game to win. So we're going to look at some of their early game decision making. One of the things I did ask is, are these 5-stack teammates? Were they communicating well? That does kind of change how you play a game. When I looked at it, it looked like a few of them were friends. I think the Invoker might have been like an odd man out or something. Battlecup's kind of weird. I don't think it shows if you're a stack or not. I'm not 100% on that. But it looked like some of these guys played together, so you have to assume, I'm going to assume there was a degree of communication. So that's what we're going to be looking at.
Oh man, Rick, there's only 10 seconds left to pick a hero!
I do not know which one is Udo, but that's okay.
40. It'll be fine.
Here's some interesting bands.
Reserve
Should we do a draft analysis? Maybe we'll do a draft analysis. Why not? Fuck it. We'll do it. We'll do a quick one. Do it on high velocity. Alright. This is your team. Alright. So Bristle, Meepo bands are kind of weird. Bristle's not really a contested pick. He's got a lot of counters. You get you just gotta get like a couple of Silver Edge carriers. Or your team even got a Shadow Demon, which is amazing, because Shadow Demon, you just build an Ags, and then Bristle's got 15 seconds of no Bristleback, so you could, or no Bristleback and no ultimate, so he's just a potato. Meepo, it's a really early ban for Meepo. If you're really scared of Meepo players, there's plenty of time to still counter a Meepo pick. There's lots of things that make Meepo have a huge problem, like PA with the Battle Fury. Sven's a really good Meepo counter. Doesn't really feel like you have a real direction in your draft here, or at least in your bans. This is good. There's two good team fight heroes. Tide enables early grouping, so that's pretty good. You should see this, so you should look for a Diffusal carrier. Lich is kind of annoying. It means your offlane's likely going to lose, assuming they play it correct. You should always play Lich in an aggressive manner. You can do it defensively if your lineup's retarded. Like if you're getting aggro tried, like if you're predicting aggro try and your last pick is a Lich support, you can take a Lich into your safe lane and punish an aggro try. But in general, you want to be trying to punish their carry. I don't really see how an Axe fits into. I guess Axe and Omni could be okay, but I would think that's an offlane Omni. That's what's kind of common nowadays, I think. Yeah. Invoker's a little rough against the Omni Knight because Tornado does not purge off Repel, but it does purge off the other thing, so it's just really awkward if you're getting siege. From an aggressive position, the Invoker can be pretty good against the Omni Knight. From a defensive, it can be a bit awkward. Like, hypothetically, let's say if they took, like, a pusher or something, that could get a little weird. That's actually a really good pick. I didn't really think about it until right now. Shadow Demon is really good against Omni because your ult purges, but that really also depends on the Shadow Demon rushing an Ags, pretty much, or getting it at some point. I know for a fact he does not get an Ags. I remember him getting a Halberd. Ags is infinitely better. Ags makes it so this guy's ult doesn't proc, so hypothetically, if you chain stun, you can kill the Abaddon without his ult procking. It's very useful. For Sniper, he loses his take aim and his headshot, actually. He loses both of those, so he loses a huge amount of... I don't know if Break takes away his range. I imagine it has to. Shit's weird like that sometimes. Obviously, having 3 charges on the SDL, for those unaware, when you get an Aghanim Scepter, this turns into a charged ability, and you get, I believe it's 3 charges that restore every 40 seconds or something. We'll try and look when we're in game. I'm kind of lazy. Ban a Spectre. Why are we banning a Spectre here? I guess it's kind of annoying. You got a Blink Initiator. I guess Spectre could be kind of annoying. The thing is, you might want to consider it a Spectre, because she's also a Diffusal carrier. That's pretty good. And she could jump on Sniper. So I think you actually banned a really good pick for you. Because like a huge problem with a Sniper is that he can position. And now you have an Abaddon frontliner who's going to stand in the front and make it really hard for you to get to that Sniper. Spectre completely bypasses that just by ulting and then just going on the Sniper. Even if you skip a raid and do like a Manta Diffusal or something, which I usually wouldn't recommend, but they have no Blink Initiation, and it's an Omni Knight, so like I could accept the argument for that. And Manta Diffusal also completely, you can go on a Sniper and kill him. I mean, he would have to build defensive items, which is taking away his damage, which is what's really going to be a problem for you based on what I saw those items out to be. You take a Clinks. Clinks is kind of awkward. Yeah, you picked like a heavy physical damage hero into like an Omni Knight and a Lich and armor down. I'm not sold on this. I think this Klink's pick is actually terrible. In a defensive posture, the sniper's gonna beat the shit out of a Klinks. The Klinks needs to get on top of the sniper, so maybe the Klinks would have to buy a blink and then try and jump in on a fight. It's when they're in base, it's gonna be very very hard for the Klinks to deal with sniper. Before that, the Klinks can hunt down the sniper. That's just temperamental. But what we really want to look at is like the other heroes. What does Klinks do against an Abaddon? Nothing. What does Klinks do against an Omni Knight? If you get an Orchid, I guess you can kill him. Same with Lich. But let's see. So one of the big things about Klinks is he's a really hard pusher and he's an armor down like nuker. Omni Knight has an ult that makes it so none of your physical damage goes through. Lich has ice armor, so building like centering around like an armor down strategy against a Lich is kind of stupid because he innately negates it, and they kind of open with that. So you should have basically... Am I not playing right now? Fuck. I was like, why is this pick taking so long? Yeah. And they take the PA. What would have been my pick here? Let's see. Let's see. How would I have salvaged this crappy draft? We already took out our sniper. They have 0 stuns. You could have ran a Storm. A Storm would have been really good. Storm shits on Sniper, naturally builds either a Bloodthorn. You can also get an MKB to deal with this guy. They have literally 0 stuns to deal with that. Storm would have been really good. It leaves you in an awkward situation on tower push. But that's kind of doable. Like their lineup literally has 0 stuns. They have headshot. That's a close thing, and this guy's going to probably build a Basher. Like, they have no innate catch at all. So, Anti-Mage could have been awkward if you get aggroed a bit. I think Storm is a pretty safe pick, and maybe you move Invoker into a solo lane. Like 1v1 safe lane. Maybe you aggro with the other 3. That's probably your play. I think the Storm would have been the strongest thing you could have gotten here. Let's look at some of the other carries we got. Arrow Void would have been okay. Drow, no, Drow gets shit on my sniper. Just good shit on my sniper. Natural MKB carriers. I could have bought first, that would have been okay. Anyway, I'm too lazy to keep doing this. I think Storm is probably your best pick. Anti-Mage, even Quap. Anything with mobility, honestly, would have just completely destroyed them. And those like the 3 biggest mobility heroes. Alright, let's keep going. So what I think's going to happen is, you did say you take the early lead. I have not watched this game yet or anything. And we're going to talk about how... I'll try and go over the differences on whether or not you're communicating well, because that does kind of change. That does kind of change how you can approach playing the game. The reason I say that is because if your team's communicating, then you can communicate an effective strategy. But if not, if everyone's not on the same page, it does make it a lot harder to communicate. Then it'll depend kind of who's on the same page with you. Like, if your Klinks is just off doing his own thing and not listening to the team, that puts you in a really bad situation. If your Witch Doctor is being retarded and just feeding all over the place and not grouping, then that's a tolerable position. Because he's not as important. So, like, what I imagine is going to happen is you beat them to the point where you can get them into their base. And then what you fail to do, or then what you try and do is force the end of the game. Now, I kind of get bitched at by, even when I 5-stack with friends, I feel like a lot of people don't appreciate that. Trying to force a game, like, why make this game go on 10 minutes longer? It's such a bad mentality to have sometimes, particularly against lineups that can punish you, like a Sniper Abaddon type lineup. Because if you can't get the jump on that sniper, he puts out way too much fucking damage. And it's a huge pain in the ass. His shrapnel makes it really hard for Tide to get a good initiation too. There's a lot of like big problems that he can run into. I'm not really going to look at the laning phase because I don't really care. I know this is based off what you said. I can guess how the game is going to go up until you take a Rax. So we're going to talk kind of about generals here. So what I was getting at was... Yeah, so trying to force a situation can be detrimental, because let's say you're like, well, we took the advantage, we were able to take a fight, so why not just push high ground into him again? And you push high ground, Sniper does Sniper things, and then you lose a team fight You even say bear, like the sniper lives and your 5 heroes die and their other 4 heroes die. Like even if I grant you that type of situation, that's still really bad because that accelerates the sniper who already dumpstered you into a really much stronger position. So that's it's quite bad for you. When the safer play is, okay, we have them cornered into their base. They're scared to go out because we're so far ahead. You just farm up their whole woods, farm up your woods, push all the lands, and wait for Roshan. And then you take Roshan and then you siege with an Aegis. It's such a simple strategy. Like, if a game's kind of close or they have really good defense and you can't get a pick, like, it's one thing if you get a pick off. If you get a pick off, then you can push and try and force a buyback. But like hypothetically, if nothing's changing, just farm safely, wait for Roshan, and then go at it with an Aegis. Like, Aegis is such an easy way to like win a game and like not fuck everything up. Which I imagine is what your problem's gonna be. Maybe you don't put any effort into securing Roshan, and like that's a huge thing. Like, people need to like put the effort into getting Aegis and using that to coincide with their high ground pushes. Because it's literally like the end all be all of like pushing high ground. Like when you fail high ground pushes, ever since they put comeback mechanics in, like you fail 2 high ground pushes, and unless you're up by like 90k, that's going to come really close to equaling out. I should say 3. If you fail 3 high ground pushes, each time you throw a high ground, you're basically losing half your advantage. It's really ridiculous. They kind of nerf comeback mechanics a bit, but not enough. So you just play safe, methodical, get your Aegises, and push safely. Why am I watching this at X2? Let's accelerate this bitch. That's way too fast. That's way too slow. Go on. There we go. I'll try at X4. We'll skip through. We'll skip ahead a bit. Okay. So let's see, we got all of our towers up. Up 2 kills and 3 towers. It's huge. Probably up like what, 3k gold? Yeah, 3k gold. Lynx should probably be farming a little more here. Seems like he's going for like a pick off. He has to basically go for the Omni Knight or he's not going to get a pick. But yeah, like you have the motivation. Okay, so yeah, so since you have a Tide Hunter, what you want to group around is the way I like to play Tide, which I understand might not be 100% right. It makes your strategy very simple. Rushing a Blink probably isn't the best. I usually rush a mech, and then you just 5-man around the Tide and make the enemy team choose to either lose their towers or fight into a mech Ravage. And there's not many lineups that can stand up against a mech Ravage, let's say 12 minutes into a game, 15 minutes into a game. When Tide will have, obviously, mech and Ravage. So he doesn't need a Blink early on because the team has to take the fight to you. So he's just there to basically deter the fight, and if the fight happens, you know, to get you to win that fight. And then once Tide's ult and everything goes on cooldown, you just wait for the ult to come back up, and then you do the same plan. And if you utilize that well, and you have a team that pushes reasonably well, yeah, you have a team that pushes reasonably well, then it's very easy to take a lot of their towers very quickly, without them feeling comfortable to fight you on it. And then every time Ravage is your timer, right? It's the longest cooldown ability on your team, so you literally just fight constantly around Ravage. Like when you have a Tide Hunter in your strategy, that's literally what you're fighting around. Ravage timings. Cool. You're getting. Oh man, that looks like I didn't really even know. Oh boy. Do we need to do this? I want to get to where like the tower goes down. I feel like that's where we're gonna see the real juice here. I don't know. So anyway. So what we have going on here is you guys are just posturing a lot right now. It's been going on for like the last like 2 minutes or something. Roshan's still here as a target. You have Gush on Tide Hunter. It's only level 1, but that's okay. Clinks and Tide together can do it pretty damn quick, particularly once he gets the Deso. Maybe you can wait for the Deso to make it more safe to do. But Invoker's also really good with Alacrity. So I wouldn't necessarily like wait for the Desolator to do it. But it should definitely be a central point of your strategy to get this Aegis and then push on that. Like, you should try and get it as, not as quickly as you can, but based around like an item timing or something. Particularly if the enemy team has the capacity to do it, which a PA and an Abaddon definitely can. How did our Clinks die here? Let's check that out. It seems like a little bit of a problem. You Clinks is looking for like way too much action right now. Like, he's just standing in the middle over here. Like, he can push. There's like lanes to push and shit, and he's just running around in circles. Clinks has 100 creeps at 25 minutes. It's pretty low. Clinks isn't really like a flash farmy type hero. But he does farm pretty quick, and his farm is okay. But like when you have like complete map control, what he wants to do is find like isolated heroes and like push towers and like do things like that. Oh, that's a sick Ravage. It's a GG Ravage right there. Until he gets fucking crit. Oh my god, you guys got annihilated. What was that, Sniper Gaming right there? I think that was Sniper Gaming. Damage done. It was not Sniper Gaming. That or it's not assessing that. We're gonna watch that fight again. I want to see what the fuck happened there. That was a really good Ravage. I think they must have just started it off really strong. Oh, no Clinks. Okay, that's what that fight was. So it's okay to give this up, or just leave the Invoker to defend, because the Tidehunter could be doing stuff right now. Oh, that was a Lich ult. A Lich ult just fucking murdered you guys. Look at this. This is brutal. Ravage! You were saying that. What the fuck? How did that even get? I didn't even see him cast it. Where the fuck's his Lich? Okay, there he is. The tornado goes off. Cast it. Boop, 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 boop. Oh man, that was brutal. The Ravage was good, and the fucking the fucking Lich ult was 10 times better because you're all standing next to each other. Yeah, that was fine to just give up. I mean, you don't have to fight at every fucking tower. You're missing your Clinks, which is a huge source of your damage output, and I guess even your control, because you can sneak up. Like an Omninet kind of wants to sit in the back and like put repels on his team and purification people, so the Clinks can sneak around and Orchid and kill him. And there's this Abaddon would have to be really on point to stop it. But like, I don't know. I find your team fight kind of awkward. Like, Clinks isn't the hero I would choose to like want to push towers for me. Like, he's good. Like, sorry, in like a 5-man lineup, he's not the hero I would choose because I want him like in the back line. But then that means you have your Invoker pushing and your Clinks running around like a dipshit, and your Clinks is the one who's gonna have the Deso. So it's kind of weird. Like a Luna would probably make a lot more sense than like the Clinks there for that push. Man, I just really fucking hate Clinks. Ugh. But yeah, so you're not really even that much ahead right now. Well, I mean, you're actually losing right now, but it's gonna be a super dragged out game. It's the longest bar I've ever seen. Let's go back to free camera. So notice we still haven't gone after Roshan. It's almost 30 minutes into the game. You definitely have a team that Roshan's pretty quickly. So that should be a much higher priority. Like, you just keep trying to take objectives without Roshan. And that's just weird. Like, I don't know if you guys are just like worried that you'll get contested or what, or if you're just not even thinking about it. Since it's like a lower skill game, I think you just don't put proper emphasis on what Roche gives you, particularly in a lineup that wants to fight like yours does. It gives you such a bigger room for like error, where your Clinks can just stand up there. I think you're okay. He's farming again. That's good. He's rushing the old MKB. I think he would have been fine with yeah, it's kind of okay. It would suck if your Bloodthorn got purge drop, but he could have gotten Bloodthorn. I actually would have liked to see a Bloodthorn AC or something like that. That would just make him like super tanky. Even a Solar Crest, even Bloodthorn Solar Crest. Because Clinks gets a huge amount of EHP from Death Pact. Or sorry, he gets a huge amount of HP, which means you just need like armor to synergize with that really well. Does he not get a BKB either? I guess BKB is not amazing this game. It's okay. See, man, that Sniper gets that armor up, and the Clinks is like not doing enough, even with the Deso. Like, literally negates the Deso just by having the Lich. These fights are kind of drawing out. Man, the way you made this replay sound in your description, it sounded like, what the fuck's going on here? fast forwarding again. Still first Roshan, I think. Yeah, you made it sound like you took a tower pretty quick, but it doesn't seem like you do. It seems like it's not a huge advantage until much later. I don't even know if there's that much worth looking at. Like there's so many fundamental problems here, and like how you drafted initially, and then like how you guys are playing. Your Invoker's farming quite a lot, though. He seems like he's doing pretty okay. Oh shit. Oh shit. Dude, what is he doing? Like, they have to know you're there. I guess he just sees they have no vision. And Ducklings is here. What an ult. It's huge. Once you get that sniper pick off, your fights are pretty straightforward. It's just like when you don't get that good initiation on the sniper. I don't know what they were thinking. Like, they had to... That sniper definitely knew he was getting ghost walked on. Like, you have to know, like, that big initiation's coming. If like, you see this stupid invoker, like, ghost walking on you for, like, 20 seconds. Kind of silly. We get to the big turning point here? This could be it. Oh, this could definitely be it. Come on, tell us we get the tower. Oh, we're not gonna get the tower, are we? Nope, definitely not. Jesus, this is a long fucking game. Did I not see the time? I thought it was like 60 minutes. Oh no, it's 76 minutes. That's like 25% more than I thought. That's okay though. Okay, so this is stupid. I don't know who the Shadow Demon is in relation to you guys. Let's see what items we got here. Let's look at our items and how they help high ground. So, anyone who watched the recent major knows Solar Crest is a fucking brokenly strong item, even if it's not the Clinks getting it. Glimmer's okay. Solar Crest would be really good too. So Solar Crest is like a really great item to put on your carry when you want to siege high ground, because if you look at them, there's no MKB on the sniper. There's definitely no MKB on the PA. She's working towards a Manta. By getting that Solar Crest, you make it so that your carry has a huge amount of EHP. Or, sorry, huge amount of EHP. What am I saying? Yeah, he gets a huge amount of EHP and is able to siege very safely. Because if the PA jumps him, he's getting that bonus 10 armor, which is more than negating the Deso hit. He's also getting the 30% evasion, which is fucking huge, because the PA only gets 4 hits with her Phantom Strike at that increased attack speed, and then her damage is slowing down. You're also talking about Sniper missing 30% of his attacks. Oh my god, it's not... I forgot, Solar Crest is 12 now, not 10. So it's even more armor. It's even more armor that Solar Crest is giving you. So it's like a huge pickup item. Another big thing, like we talked about, is that Shadow Demon Ags is incredibly fucking strong. Like, look what it does to PA. Okay, we Shadow Demon ult to PA. PA jumps on. Let's say your Clinks is sieging, right? Let's say your Clinks is sieging like right up here. And the PA jumps on him. And your Shadow Demon's chilling right here, and your Shadow Demon ults him. Your PA is losing her evasion, so everyone can hit her perfectly, and losing her crit, which is our main way that she actually does significant damage. She's losing that 450% crit chance that she's now not going to have for between 5 and 15 seconds. It's incredible. There's no reason for this Shadow Demon to get an Ags, and I don't know if he's a friend of yours, if it's you, or if he's communicating, but this Halberd is a horrible, horrible pickup. It's okay against the Sniper, because Sniper doesn't want to build a BKB, but they also have Repel, so they can just take the Halberd off if the only thing... Okay, so for those unaware, the only thing that takes off Halberd is BKB. No other Purge takes off Halberd. It's only Magic Immunity, which should include Repel. That should include Repel, should also take it off. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty damn sure, because it should pretty much do everything that a BKB does. The other main problem with that is that how the fuck is the Shadow Demon going to get in range to actually use a Halberd on a goddamn Sniper? The PA has a BKB, unless it's bugged. I'm pretty sure it's not bugged that she has a BKB, which means it doesn't work on her. That is probably one of the worst Halberd pickups I've ever seen, and I'm actually a huge Halberd fan. I love Halberd. I think it's the most underbought item in Dota 2. Because situationally, it's like incredibly strong. Like, let's say they have like a Medusa or like a Drow or something that's like super powerful. Even though they build an MKB, a ranged hero gets disarmed for 5 seconds and can't put out damage. It's such a great item situationally. This is just not one of the situations because there's no way to get it on the sniper, which is the person you really have to target. Yeah, this guy needed an Ags. One of the drawbacks, I could be wrong about this. Last time I remember checking, if you disrupt the Clinks, I know it works with the illusion runes, and I'm pretty sure it must work with disrupt. Yeah, fuck. I'm gonna regret saying this, but I'm pretty sure that if you disrupt Clinks, his illusions do not get Dark Pact. But I'm like maybe 60% on that. So that might not be synergistic. God, I really want to fucking know now. I know with the illusion rune he doesn't get it. He doesn't get the Dark Pact damage, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, so like back to where I started here. Oh god, one of these two should have a Solar Crest, which makes your Clinks able to frontline a lot better and be a lot more tanky. Because he's got 13 armor right now. You're talking like over almost twice as much armor by putting the Solar Crest on him. He has his equivalent in his backpack for some reason, just taking away a casual 3 armor. So this Deso drops his armor by over half right now. While having that Solar Crest would more than make up for that and make him way tankier. So that's a really, really big deal. It also really helps the Invoker, who's also a very low armor hero. Whoever's sieging, it's really good to have that. Plus it forces out those MKB pickups. Or, I guess, a Bloodthorn. But either way, I mean, Sniper wants to eventually build an MKB. PA doesn't mind building an MKB. But it's not something you really want to go for first. Like, if I was this PA, I think... Oh, shit, she has the Deso. Satanic's actually really good on PA right now. I think what she'd want right now is... Maybe Scotty? Sure has a BKB. Manta's okay. Manta's okay. I think Scotty AC could be pretty good on her right now. Gives her some tank and some more armor down against heroes that are struggling with their armor levels. Like Clinks has really bad armor right now. Yeah. So like those are things like you want to think about. So I think the Manta's okay, but I think there's better options. Let's see where we're at here. So the Tide is really low on farm right now. It's 43 minutes in. He's got 63 creeps. It's not crazy. It's an offline Tide. Yeah, it's 100% offline Tide. Tide farms very, very quickly, particularly if you take the 50 damage at level 10, which is what I usually opt for. I think his 7 armor is a much better decision than the 35 EXP gain, just because of how much physical damage the enemy team does. Who cares about his other things? But yeah, this guy needs to be farming more. He needs to have like a fucking refresher and Shivas right now, or force refresher. I think you definitely need a refresher by now. It's just like he could also have a Shivas. There's like plenty of farm left on this map. No one here is super farmed. But the most creeps per minute on Invoker when he's at like 8, which really isn't like the most creeps in the fucking world. Yeah. So he needed to be pursuing a lot more farm in between like the fighting. I mean, I didn't watch his exact patterns. I don't think he has 9 deaths is kind of a lot, but he should still definitely have more. He should also probably have had a wand earlier. It's far too late for that now. But he definitely needs like to have a bigger impact as a core. Like if I look right now, he's probably 4th or 5th from the bottom lowest net worth. Yeah, called it 4th. 4th lowest net worth as a core. He's behind a support on his team. A Witch Doctor is like an okay farming support, but like Tide's fucking really great at farming. He's exceptionally strong. And he's fucking behind him. I mean, you farm probably just as well, if not better, than an Abaddon, and the Abaddon's crushing you, although he has a Radiant, so that's kind of cheating. But yeah, like that's not acceptable. Like if you know this Tide, if you are this Tide, you need to like communicate with him that he needs to like farm more and actually get items. He can't just be this blink, single ravage, and grieves thing. He has to be a bigger tank. He has to be a bigger thing they have to deal with, and he needs that refresher. Because like right now, if he's able to get a good jump with a refresher, that's like 5.5. So I think it's, let's say it's level 3 ult. Okay, so it's like 5.6 seconds of stun if he chains it perfectly, where they can't do anything. So even him just like jumping forward double ravaging the whole team while the Clinks just fires on something. Clinks with like a Deso AC or something, or even just a fucking Deso is going to melt this building in like 5 seconds. It's not going to take a Clinks very long to kill even a melee barracks. But it's definitely enough time for the Clinks to kill a tower and kill a ranged. And even if you just back up and every 2 minutes or whatever, you come in and you take one building, you can approach that methodically and do that, and that's totally fine. It'll take you a little while to end the game, but you'll get there slowly but surely. And like honestly, like a really great play is if you get like 1 or 2 sets, they have to deal with the creeps pushing in, and you just smoke. And like since you can play around pickoffs just as well as you can Aegis's, you just smoke into a lane that's missing a set, and you just wait there because you know like the PA or the sniper or maybe the Abaddon, if you're unlucky, is gonna come push that wave in, and then you kill him, and then you win the game. Like that's how simple it is. You do that, you pull that maneuver twice, and you win the game. Once again, okay, yeah. So I don't know the exact time the first Roshan was, but assuming it was. This was just taken, wasn't it? How is it? Okay, yeah, so this was just taken. I think this is the first Roshan. I'm not 100% on that, because I did skip around a bunch. But if this is the first Roshan, that is like 20 minutes too late. It's probably 30 minutes too late, honestly. It's pretty damn bad. Our Shadow Demon's walking up. Like a little silly man. It's like, I feel like right now, you have Aegis on Clinks. What's the Clinks doing? The Clinks is just running in circles. Clinks, you got Aegis, buddy, and you gotta make shit happen. Like, he's playing this like he's still trying to get pickoffs. This is really bad. Like, you have the Aegis. Your team can sit behind you. He just needs to walk the fuck up and take this tower. But he's still just running around invisible. Like, what? Like, this... Okay, I need to stop here. Out of all of the criticisms I made, this is actually the worst fucking play I've ever seen in my whole life. Like, I know it's a lower level game, I don't mean to sound like a complete dick, which I'm sorry I actually did right now. But I just need to, like, emphasize how bad this play is right now. I've been watching Accelerated Pace, we're 2 minutes through the Aegis. This Clinks, I don't see him changing this behavior, because I don't know what his plan is here. Like, he should eat this creep, come over here, kill this tower. That should be what happens right now. If that doesn't happen, I'm gonna rage internally. Runs over here. Sits invis. It's like he's waiting for a pickoff, but it's like, this isn't your purpose right now. You need to take that tower. That is your purpose. That's your purpose in life, Clinks. It's all you do. You take towers. But he's just sitting here invis. Oh, we got a moment of truth here. 122, 146. Fuck. No, we gotta find out the answer to this. We're backtracking here. Damn it. Go eat a fucking creep. Alright, he eats a shitty creep. Like, kill the fucking camp so it respawns. Holy crap. Did I miss something? What's this fucking Clinks been doing this whole time? Alright, player perspective. The Clinks, see what the fuck he does. Clinks is running. So why does this fight even start here? This fight should not be happening right now. Like, you guys, it should be clear this Clinks is like, hey, I have to go eat a creep. Please don't fuck up the game. Let's see what everyone here does. Walk some illusions in. The Witch Doctor casually ults for no reason at all. Fun fact, Witch Doctor, very bad against evasion heroes because his ward can miss and MKB does not make his ward hit. Very annoying. But ultimately, the Ty gets a good ravage, salvages this fight. Imagine if the Clinks was here this whole fucking time. Is he just making his way over here now? Where are you? He gets in there, starts putting out the deeps. Brings the fuck on that bitch. Finally kills the tower. But yeah, this is like people not understanding like their purpose in a game, which is really bad. You need to know like what's required to win a game. And I don't know how else to phrase that. Okay, he's not eating a fucking creep right now either. Like there's creeps sitting on him with like full HP and he could have just eaten it. He didn't. Once again, This guy's also his own fucking worst enemy. All he had to do was when he ate the creep, kill the rest of the camp, and he'd have big creeps to eat. But instead, this dude just eats the big creep and runs away. Like, this is bad for so many reasons. One, when you're a carry, you need to farm efficiently while making movements, right? So, like, let's say you take this tower here, and you're considering continuing to push. Or you're thinking about maybe backing up. You farm these two camps. Like you push into this lane, you farm this camp, take the tower, farm the other camp, and then keep going, and then maybe sneak over and farm this camp if you feel it's safe while doing it. You need to get all the creeps in the interim, and they add up over time. Just being in the habit of getting creeps in the middle of your movement. So like right now, I have to go eat a creep because I'm a Clinks and I'm garbage without a creep. Walks over here, takes one Satyr, leaves the rest of the camp, so there's no chance of this respawning. First of all, a Satyr sucks to eat. Only has 600 HP. This camp, as a medium camp, can spawn at least 3 other better camps. A Mud Golem camp is better. A Centaur camp is better. And the what the hell are they called? The Ogre camps are better. And he did this to, like, all the nearby hard camps. Just so annoying. Like, he literally has Satyrs in every single one of these because he makes poor life decisions. This is terrible. This is terrible. Does Clinks have one where he can eat Ancients? Because that would be amazing. He does not. Horrible. Yeah. See, another thing I'll point out that I have a random issue with here. Getting 20% evasion is really stupid when you want to build a butterfly. I think Clinks is an excellent butterfly carrier. But hypothetically, if you weren't building a butterfly, then the 20% evasion is good. But he has a butterfly queued up, so now you're just superfluously stacking evasion to get punished by the MKB that should be coming out by someone. I'm gonna kill myself if this PA builds a Daedalus. Look to my right. PA's got a Daedalus. Alright. I will play Devil's Advocate for that for 1 second. It gives him the most damage of any item that's not a rapier, which synergizes with his crit. And then I will take that back by saying he needs fucking other things, so it's a really stupid item to get. Reverse Devil's Advocate. So yeah, now you should just take the shrines, wait for the next Aegis, everyone farms up, and the next Aegis you go and you finish this set of racks. You still have the capacity to split push, but sorry, you want to keep split pushing until you get that next Aegis, and then you do it again. But, like, honestly, I don't even have high hopes because his Clinks just played that so abysmally for the first, like, 2 minutes of the Aegis. And then he just keeps, like, wasting creep camps. Like, please tell me he at least farms this whole fucking thing. Okay. We're watching Clinks farming patterns for the next fucking 2 minutes. That's what we're doing right now. Oh, someone decided he wants his next item, I guess. We eat it. Oh, we actually kill the creeps. We kill the creeps. Alright, he's trying to farm an item right now. He's not, like... So he's actually killing all the creeps. That's good. Alright, my computer's kind of acting funny right now. I guess I should start closing tabs or something. I'll copy and paste that for when I give a video description. Let's close some more things here. Get rid of that. Cool. Let's see if we can get this going quicker. It still feels like too choppy. I don't think when I'm streaming, when I'm not streaming, that looks as choppy. That's okay. Okay, so we're forcing a fight here without Aegis. Seems like it's going okay. Treated our Clinks before he had his butterfly finish. So one of the problems with doing a maneuver like this is you showed that you were building a butterfly before finishing it, then lost a fight. If this PA was smart, this switches into an MKB, which is not smart. This guy was smart, that switches into an MKB, but they're not smart. Like, people need to react on the fly. Like, when you see information like that, first of all, they should already be building MKBs, actually, because they should know that your talent is evasion, and that you're now also building a B-fly. It is, like, incredibly important that you, take care of that. But, or, sorry, that they give themselves the tools to kill you. You being the Clinks, not you as in you. Once again, I still have no fucking idea which hero you are. Let's see. Let's check it out. So yeah, like, you can see that the sniper's becoming a problem. Let's see how many times he's died. He's 5 and 8, so that's, like, you've done an okay job killing him. Probably because his positioning has sucked. But, like, you're just playing a game that's really hard because they're able to sit in their base. But, like, okay, we're just gonna wrap this up because I think there's enough here for you to, like, wrap your head around without me just analyzing stupid shit. So that's what we're gonna do right now. I'm gonna wrap this one up. Let's see, free camera, play. We're gonna go an X1 for this. Alright. So whether or not you're a team, or if you're a bunch of solo players, I think some of the people here know each other, some of them don't. But either way, you need to be able to assess your lineup and understand what your lineup does. Upon watching this game, I don't feel like you guys understand like how your heroes work together and what your goals should be. So like, let's say I'm on the Dire here. I'm like, okay, we got good team fight. We got a Tide, an Invoker, and a Clinks, and a Shadow Demon, right? So Shadow Demon allows you to siege, and then if that person who's sieging gets jumped, i.e. the Clinks, so basically the Clinks should always be sieging in these situations. If the Clinks gets jumped, the Shadow Demon pushes him away and saves him. Very simple. The Tidehunter enables you in the early game to push while he acts as a front line while Clinks is in a weaker state. So if this Clinks rushed a Deso, which I think he should have done instead of an Orchid, he could have went back. He could have went back for the Orchid. To explain why he should have rushed for the Deso, the reasoning behind that is that the Tide enables you to group up and push, and the Tide should have been building a mech with that in mind. Since the Tide enables you to group up and push very early because the enemy team doesn't want to fight into you, the Clink should itemize to push quicker. The Orchid enables him to get pickoffs on someone like an Omni Knight easier. Really only the Omni Knight's the only one it really helps with. Which I really don't think is that important. The Deso enables those pushes to happen significantly faster. So he should have itemized that way. The Invoker can do whatever because he's a fucking Invoker. But in culmination, so your early game from about the 8 to 20 minute mark, I'd say. I guess that's the mid game, I should say. Your mid game should have a Tide with a mech, and everyone basically 5-manning to take towers. A Tide with a mech, a Clinks with a Deso, and Invoker who has Alacrity. That's really it. And then everyone else just groups around them, and you should push very, very quickly with that. After you take some towers, you back up, you retreat, you take Roshan, and then with your Aegis, you aim to take high ground. It's a very, very simple strategy. And then when you're taking high ground, you have your Clinks, who should have had a Dragon Lance, because it makes this even easier. Your Clinks gets a Dragon Lance, your Clinks stands in front, like we'll just use this lane as an example. Your Clinks is going to stand here, hit that tower, your Shadow Demon's going to sit back here, along with your Invoker, and your Shadow Demon is going to be ready to disrupt him if the enemy team jumps on him. They really only have a PA who can jump on him. It's not really that big of a deal. And your Invoker is going to sit there alacritying him. Your Tide can also sit there for the counter initiation after, so they'll probably like try and surround her. So your Tide sits there for a counter initiation. That counter initiation could lead to a one team fight or your capacity to retreat, depending on what you guys think is the best decision. Obviously, if you expend a Ravage, you want to win a team fight, but if something's going really south, you can keep that in mind that it can also just be used to retreat. Witch Doctor's just there with his heals to, you know, help your team sustain through shrapnel and daggers and shit like that. That's very simple. In this case, I think the Witch Doctor having a Solar Crest while this guy rushed Nags is probably what you want to do. So now you can have the Invoker putting Alacrity, the Shadow Demon waiting to save the Clinks, and the Witch Doctor putting a Solar Crest on the Clinks. And the Clinks would siege here, and it would be very, very difficult for them to deal with that Clinks. Particularly if you have Aegis, it's almost impossible for them to deal with that Clinks twice. So I think you look at your lineup, and to me, it seems very, very obvious that that's how you want to play. And when you see the game, you can just tell that this team, that you guys did not know what your objectives were. Or you didn't know how to execute your lineup. Personally, I think it's a simple lineup. I think there could have been a better hero than a Clinks that could have changed how you would play the game. But if you replace that Clinks with a Luna, it's literally the same thing. If you replace that Clinks with a Gyro, or not a Gyro, I meant to say a Juggernaut, it's pretty much the same thing. It's a little more awkward sieging with a Juggernaut, but all those same things could still be said. Um, Actually, no, the Juggernaut would suck against the Sniper to siege. But let's. I don't feel like looking at all the heroes, but I'm sure there's other heroes you could have picked. But with the Clinks in this lineup, if your goal wanted to be to like 5-man and push with the Clinks in the lineup, could have worked very, very well. I still think the Spectre probably would have been best, and then like AM and Storm would have all been better picks in this game. But in the context, like I think you had the tools to win and the lineup to win, but then you chose to execute your lineup in a really weird way. Like you guys fought without your Clinks that one time. Your Clinks doesn't know how to farm, which is like a personal problem. Your Clinks itemized wrong. Your Tidehunter itemized wrong, based off how your lineup functioned. It was a lot of problems in that respect. You guys didn't utilize Roshan nearly early enough. Like I said, I think that first Roshan was about 45 minutes. That should have happened probably about, like I said, from 8 to 20 minutes. I think 20 is a little pretty late on that. I don't think it should take you 12 minutes to take all their towers. You should pretty much get like most of their tier 1s and tier 2s. Basically, if I'm in a lane and they don't fight it, I'm continuing on to the next one. If I have a Ravage and a Mech on Tide, I'm going to keep pushing until they want to fight. Maybe until I get to the tier 3, then I'll back up and I'll do it in another lane. I'll just keep going to each lane and doing that until they want to fight. And the first time they take the fight, hopefully you win the fight. On the off chance you lose the fight, you just regroup, wait for Ravage, take Aegis, and then you take that fight again. You have a very good Aegis team if that Clinks rushes a Deso. The Clinks got the Deso very late, which made Roshaning a little more difficult, but still possible, because once again, you still have Alacrity, you still have Gush. You did have the, whatever the hell that thing, Blightstone. Blightstone that gives you a small amount of armor down. Like, you had tools to do it. It's not the slowest Roshan, but we weren't using our tools correctly in this game. Yeah, so there's not really much more to say. I'm kind of beating a dead horse here. When you look at a game, you have to ask yourself, what does my lineup do to win this game? And it just seems like no one on your team asked themselves that, or if anyone did, they didn't vocalize and conduct your team on how to play. Because you guys are not playing like a team. The itemization wasn't there, the strategy wasn't there, the calls weren't there. There has to be someone who looks at a game from that higher standpoint and understands how to conduct their team. I mean, ideally every player should know how to do it, but like, let's say even if you're just solo queuing or something, and you need to make those calls to your team and get them to make the right plays. And are they always going to listen? No. But like, if you're consistently trying to make the right calls and your calls are informed, at least you think they're informed, right? If you're making those calls consistently, then sometimes your team's going to listen, sometimes they're not going to listen. But if you never make the calls, then they're never going to listen. And if you're in a stack, then it's even more important that people that you make those calls and people will listen to them. Because if you just fumble through a game as a 5-stack, it's like, why did you even bother? Like, you played a captain's mode game where you should be carefully thinking out your draft and your interaction. Like, I understand when you play like all pick or something, and like you draft the lineup that makes like no sense, and no one really thought about the synergy or how it works. But you spent what 12-15 minutes drafting this whole team that has like I said, the synergy I saw pretty reasonable. I liked it. Clinks just doesn't play that pick-off role you'd usually think of. He plays like a sieging role when you're ahead, and that's okay. But like, you never used it in that way. So it's like you guys clearly didn't think about how your lineup worked. You just picked heroes for the sake of picking heroes. But yeah, I hope it helped. I didn't mean to be like super critical. I think I was a little too negative at points. I'm kind of tired, so I apologize for that. But yeah. But yeah, I hope this helps you kind of think about the game. Basically, anytime you go into a game, you should always look at your lineup and try and think about how each lineup works against each other, the strengths and the weaknesses, and how your lineup needs to play to win this game, like what you need to avoid. All right, so we're gonna end that here. I hope that was helpful. I'm sorry I'm not gonna watch the whole game, but I don't think we're gonna see anything more valuable in the next 15 minutes. No big deal. I know you take these 2 sets and then they walk down and mega you. But that's what happens when you just lose your whole goal advantage to the Radiant. When they have a superior... They have a decent turtle lineup, which makes your life kind of hard. Even if their itemization is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Then that... While your itemizations were bad, I'd say theirs were worse. They just had a lineup that involved them sitting there and waiting to win, and then you let them sit there and wait to win. Thomas!
Hey, Joe. How's it going, buddy?
A nigga after my own heart. What's up? What's up?
You know, played some video games today.
Who plays video games? That's so fucking yesterday.
Yeah, that's not what I did yesterday.
God, what a loser.
1 second.
Thomas, I drank alcohol for the first time in like 7 years yesterday.